Hello? There we are. Okay, we're here. Oh, hey, good morning, everybody. What's going on? Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying. My name is Meg O'Brien. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am the Director of Education here at the Huntington Theater Company.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pascal Florisaw. I'm the Director of Education for the Front Porch Arts Collective. We are so glad you all came to see Fat Ham. Let's give another round of applause for that amazing performance, please.
Getting settled, just a couple of logistical things for you. We expect that you have questions for this brilliant team of actors. We will also have a couple of members of our crew out to talk about some of the incredible effects in the show. Our staff will be stationed at the front of each aisle with a microphone. If you have questions, please line up. We cannot promise we'll get to all of your questions, but that will help us make sure that we get as many voices heard as possible. Yes? Deal? If you're at that microphone and you ask a question, please just tell everyone what your name is. Yeah? Okay. So while we're waiting for some folks to join us, I have some questions for you. Our statements. This is Dawn Meredith Simmons. She is the co-founder and producing director extraordinaire of the Front Porch Arts Collective, words, and the associate director of Fat Ham.
She'll be bringing it to Atlanta, folks.
Okay, so if you agree with a statement, all you have to do is stand up. If you do not agree, all you have to do is stay seated. I enjoy going to my family gatherings. Stand if you agree. Stay
no shame
seated
on your
if
truth.
You do not agree.
No shame on your truth.
Right, live your truth.
Live your truth, y'all. Live your truth.
Live your
All
truth.
right, we've got about 75%, maybe 80%. Is there one brave soul who is seated who would like to share why you do not enjoy going to family gatherings?
Oh, I saw a hand. Oh. If you really want to, come on now.
Yes. Too political.
Facts. Facts and facts.
Okay, thank you. Have a seat.
You better.
Next statement.
I like this game.
I believe it's true that Rev had Pap killed. Stand if you agree. I believe it's true that Rev had Pap killed. Wow.
All right, good job.
Good job.
A plus. A plus.
There are like 5 of you still seated.
Okay,
One of
like
you's
that.
on your phone. I'm going to give you a chance to fix that without going you up too far.
We can see you.
But, all right, so everyone in here believes the ghost. Well, except
Most.
for like the 5 of you who are seated.
I love that.
Does someone want to share out why you agree?
Yeah.
A little bit louder.
Anyone?
No one?
Yeah, right here. Preach. They really have nothing to lose, if you think about it. Nothing to
And
lose.
like, this isn't just any ghost. Like, he comes out of the wood pile, the trash pile. He comes out of the laundry. He comes smoking out of the smoker. Okay, last one. Stand if you agree. Stay seated if you disagree. I saw myself represented in this play.
Yes.
I saw myself represented in this play. Wow. We are at about half the room.
Yeah, it's 50%. Not bad.
That's exciting for us. We're educators. So I want you to keep thinking about these questions for yourself because it's, how many of you read Hamlet? Just a show of hands.
All right.
How many of you enjoyed reading Hamlet? Just a show of hands.
I appreciate your
actually,
honesty.
I thought more hands would go down. That's fair. I love Hamlet, but I'm just a big Shakespeare geek. How many of you read Fat Ham before you were here today?
Ooh.
Okay, good. How many of you enjoyed reading Fat Ham?
Yes.
How many of you enjoyed watching Fat Ham today?
Yes! Come back, please. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Runs through October 29th.
All right, so Dawn, I have a question for you before I get out of the way.
Oh, wait, no, can I ask a question to them first? Though?
Yes,
I
of
know,
course.
I'm totally going to say. So we asked this question of who's read Hamlet, who read Fat Ham, who saw The Lion King?
Yes, come on now.
There you
Let's
go.
Lion King, Mufasa,
So you-
and Simba.
Who knows why Dawn's asking that question? Oh, yes. Do you want to say
I was
it?
like, who knew?
Do you want to say it? Yes. Yes.
Boom!
Who is Hamlet in The Lion King? Yes. And who is the king? I mean, Mufasa's the king of life everywhere. Awesome, good. Who is Rev in The Lion King?
Scar. Yes.
Who is Tio in The Lion King? So there's actually a couple of different opinions. Some people think it's Nala. Some people think Nala is Ophelia.
Yes.
Maybe the bird.
Right.
Yes. There's actually lots of different opinions.
There's a lot of different opinions. But then if you know Lion King, right?
Yeah.
They're all, I think, one of the things that I love about this piece, what we keep talking about, is that why do we keep doing Shakespeare? Why do we keep revisiting this particular author? And if you are familiar with The Lion King, then you are familiar with the core of this story. And Fat Ham is just another way in. One that I really like, because ghosts and, it's a ghost story. We forget it's a ghost story.
It is a ghost story.
You were going to ask me a question
I was
before
going to ask you a question. So Dawn is our associate director. And if y'all don't know the Front Porch Arts Collectives, y'all better educate yourself because they're amazing.
We are.
You can find me in the lobby.
I want to ask you about what it was like to work with James Ijames and Stevie Walker-Webb. James Ijames is the playwright who won the Pulitzer Prize for this play. And Stevie Walker-Webb was just nominated for a Tony for directing Ain't No Mo on Broadway. Came to us to direct Fat Ham. And then literally, I think the day after we opened, he is now the artistic director at Baltimore Center Stage.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what that was like?
I think this is one of the most collaborative processes that I have ever been a part of. One of the first conversations that we had as we were tackling this text was sort of like, oh, it's really easy, it's really simple. And you take that first pass at it, right? Everybody's starting to read it, everybody's starting to put some character into it. And then, right, by week 2, we were like, yo, this is really hard. This is deceptively simple. You think you know it, and then you start to dig deeper, and you're like, oh no, this isn't easy at all. There's a lot of stuff going on. And so I'm sort of mining that, pulling that out to get to the production that you saw was incredible. So, right, one, it starts with the author. It starts with Ijames. His work is funny and hard and poignant, and there's pathos and there's great humor in it. And there's just some of the most outlandish stuff in it, too. It's got something for everybody. So really loved just being able to tackle that work. But then Stevie, as a director, right, brought me in to help direct, right? Our stage manager, Rodney, in the back, right? He was there helping out, and, right, just dramaturgically, that man knows so much. So, we had that in the room. And then everybody who was in that room, anybody who came through, right, their brain was Stevie's brain, and he would ask and mine. And so what you're seeing is this great collaborative effort by a large number of artists, not just the actors, not just the directing team, but also, right, the design team had a huge hand in what you're seeing. I want to say dramaturgically, not just visually. Hey guys!
Yes, they're here.
Welcome! Oh, hey, yeah, you sit next to me. Hey.
As the cast comes on, we're going to have each of them introduce themselves so you know them as their real names, not just their character names. Go ahead.
Hey y'all, I am Marshall Ware, maybe the 4th, and I play Juicy.
Woo!
Hey, I'm Ebony Marshall Oliver, and I'm Tidra.
Hey y'all, I'm Amar Atkins and I play Larry.
Hey y'all, I'm Tamika Bridwell and I play Rabbi.
Hey y'all, my name is Victoria Omoreji and I play Opal.
What's up, y'all? My name is Laree Roach and I play T.O.
Hi, everybody. My name is Barbara Crowther. I am the wardrobe supervisor on the show.
Thank you all so much. So we're going to start off with a couple questions, and then we're going to open it up to you all to ask questions. And we have the mic here, so whoever feels so inclined to answer first can. But I really would love to hear you all talk a little bit about your relationship with your characters. Each of them go through such a beautiful journey. And how has it been since first rehearsal to now, right? We've opened, we've had a blackout, we've had student matinee, but how has it been to bring these characters to full life and have the audience experience them? Someone has to.
So I play Larry. And the character is really, really close to home for me. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and I grew up in a very Christian household. I was a praise and worship leader, and I was a little closeted gay boy back then, and I wasn't really comfortable in my sexuality, because I am a proud gay man right now. Yeah. So kind of like Larry, I had to deal with, on one side, a very, very religious household, and then on the other side, I'm African, I'm Ghanaian, and so my father was homophobic back then. He loves me now. And so kind of like Larry, I had to come to the awareness that my queerness was a superpower. It made me special. It wasn't a weakness. It wasn't something that defined me. It was just another beautiful quality about me. And like Larry, I had to come to that conclusion and liberate myself through the lens of what that meant to me back then, the same way what it means to Larry on this stage as he comes out and his softness and all the things. He lives his best life unapologetically, finally. So it mirrored my real life. So yeah.
Hi, y'all. Okay, so I play Rabbi, and it was actually a very difficult journey to Rabbi for me, because while there are some similarities, I had to learn along the way not to judge the character, because there are so many differences between the way that I actually live my life, what I believe, and what the character believes. But I truly believe that what we get to do up here is performing artists is a gift. It's a gift for us to be able to do it, and also it's a gift that we give and we share with the world. And I believe through that gift, we are given the opportunity to help shift people. And so sometimes you get characters and their challenges. Like, this was a big challenge for me, but I had to tell myself that ultimately Rabbi's journey is one that can help people. To go from a place of non-acceptance and judgment to a place where she's grown and she accepts her children and ultimately accepts her son. And I'm sure if the story continued, there would be more than just, what happened in that moment. Of course, there's a lot that you have to go through in order to truly change your mind and your heart. But we got to see her begin. And so that, for me, is a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful blessing. And it's a beautiful blessing to be able to share that with you guys, because I am from here. Yes. I am from Boston. I'm from Roxbury. Yes. And I remember being a young person sitting in the seats of the Huntington Theater, actually watching Felicia Rashad on stage and saying to myself, I want to be on this stage one day. I want to do this one day. So I'm very, very blessed to be here with you guys today. Thank you.
And we're blessed
so
for you.
Okay, I'll be really quick. For me, Juicy, I feel like, whenever you get a character and you end up doing it for a little bit, they kind of pull things out of you. And what Juicy's, the biggest lesson in Juicy he's been pulling out of me is softness. I played football for 6 years. I did my whole closeted girl life down. But I'd gotten to a point in my real life where things couldn't hurt me, and I let things roll off of me. So to have Juicy and to now literally have to be soft every night, it's really nice to just, it's a part of who we all are, the feminine, the masculine, it's all of us. So really getting to play the edges of all that is what sort of, that's where she's living now.
Yes, living it forever. Awesome. I have one more question before we open it up. I think one of the things me and Dawn and the rest of the Front Porch were so excited about bringing the show was bringing the queer blackness and blackity black of all of this show. And I'd love for you all to talk about your experience about working on a show that really embraces that and having a director who is black, an associate, like so much of the process. I think we really did a lot of our work to make sure we represented the community that this show speaks to on and off the stage. And I would love to know what that experience has been like for you as actors, because you've done, I imagine, so many plays that may not always look like this. So what has that been like in comparison to others?
Who won it?
For me, hi, everybody. Ain't nobody up there. Hey, y'all. Sorry.
you, Kai.
Hey, friends. For me, this process has been really special. I have been very fortunate to, in my career, have always been in predominantly black spaces. I've been very fortunate. Yeah. And however, it hasn't always been safe. This process was very safe from day one. And we all connected with one another almost immediately. And that's important when you have to play a family, when you have to play best friends, spouses. It has to read. It has to be believed. You have to believe, whatever it is we are telling and offering. So this process was very lovely. This process was very easy. And by easy, I mean there was no like struggle to act like I like y'all. Amen. It was just love. And we're a family, and Dawn and Stevie also created a space where we were safe, even if there was something that we were like, no. We could say, no. And they would be like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's work through it. So that's what the process has been for me. I'm gonna speak for me. For me.
Anyone else? Tori, yep, you better.
Hi, y'all again. My name is Victoria. I play Opal. Woo!
Yes! We like you, Opal.
Thank you, mother. Thank you. Just to second everything that Ebony said, honestly, we are truly a family here. We have a group chat. It's called Fat Ham Fam. Because we really connected, like Ebony said, from day one. We went around, we hugged each other, we gave each other, the auntie kisses. Hey, auntie. It just really was a strong connection at first, and that's carried all the way up until now. We hang out outside of the show, and I feel very blessed too, because this is one of my first experiences being with a predominantly black team all over, from directors to costume design team to everyone. And it's truly just felt like a very safe space where I can identify with everybody. And that has just been beautiful. I don't have to, what is it, code switch. I don't have to code switch, because everyone knows where I'm coming from. Everyone knows what I'm saying, and I just it feels like family. So yeah.
Yeah, Tori.
I'm from Dorchester.
Yes, she is. Born and raised. Yes. Any others before we open up to the audience? All right, audience, it's your turn. Questions. Please come up here so we can hear you nice and loud. Come on down. We have another microphone here, so if you want to start lining up to ask questions, please go ahead. Yes.
Hi, my name is Idalis, and I just wanted to say that your singing literally had me in tears when I was sitting there. It was so beautiful.
A star.
And as someone who also is from Roxbury, I just love the energy that was in the play, and I also just love how it was just predominantly, I was able to see myself in characters, and it's just so beautiful to see that, because I feel like that the acting community is just so white dominated.
Say it.
So it's kind of nice to, I feel like I was able to see myself sitting in this backyard. Not everything that happened, but, like I was able to see like myself. And my main question is, as like someone who likes to design clothes, did you guys have any input on your designs?
Ooh, good question. Yes. Who wants to start?
Yeah, I did for that drag moment.
Yeah.
It was cute, right? It was cute, right?
It was slay.
Yes, that drag costume went through a lot of iterations, but compared to Broadway, it was our phenomenal costume designer, Celeste. Oh my God, she did such a beautiful job wanting to create a costume for Larry where it seemed like he just grabbed all of these items that were around the house, whether it was the cups or making chaps out of cookies and chips and all of that stuff, the spoons and all of that stuff. It went through a few iterations to be comfortable for me to be able to do what I do on this stage for y'all. But yeah, just like kind of what we were picking up on with the last question, everything was extremely collaborative. No matter what it was, from acting, costume, singing, like we always had a space where if there was something that we wanted to try, like y'all, the drag number had about 3 different numbers, amen? 3 different songs and everything, but there was always room at the table to discuss not only what would make us feel comfortable, but what would be the most effective for y'all in the story, so yeah.
Barbara, do you want to say anything as a wardrobe soup about the costumes?
I mean, the unique thing for me on this process was that I actually was with the show from day one with the very first spec from our designer. I acted as a design assistant, so I actually got to have a hand in sourcing and purchasing and selecting all of the costumes that you got to see on stage. So that's my little like nugget of pride on this one, that I actually I'm not just dressing them, but
Beautiful.
So it was a great project. Our designer, like they said, she was the most collaborative director our designer we've ever had, in my opinion. She was so open to anybody's suggestions. And it was so much fun to get to hang out with everybody before we got into the theater. We were having really good conversations in our fittings. I don't know. One of the best processes for me from the beginning, so.
Thank you, Barbara. All right, let's go over here and then we'll come back here.
Hey y'all, my name is Brandon, he, him, his. I am a college and career counselor at Excel Academy, so I'm with these 4 rows here. First plug-in, the white chair thing, iconic. That was incredible. But I guess my question is, or my reflection, I was drawn to the moms in this scene. I'm queer and Latino, so everything else, yes, but I think I was drawn to the moms because I think I and many of our students have had experiences dealing with the expectations of our parents. Who we're supposed to be, who we can't be, what college we need to go to, what do we want to study, what trade or whatever we have to do. And I was drawn to these moms because they were gaslighting the hell out of their kids this entire, throughout this show, right, of who they were and who they weren't. What advice would you give to, a lot of high schoolers, students, humans who are also having to respond to the gaslight of our parents, respond to the expectations that our parents have for us that we don't want, the colleges we don't want to go to, the jobs that we don't want, the relationships that we don't want to be in. How do you respond to that without always having to approach it with empathy and understanding? Because sometimes I just want to be like, you're wrong. This is what I want. And why is it always our responsibility to empathize and to, want to do whatever our parents want? So long question here, but how would you respond? Or what advice would you give to our students who are dealing with that right now?
So I have a 14-year-old son. He just started high school. And one of the things that I had to learn early on is that I had to let go of all of the ways that I was raised. And I had to let go of expectations of what I thought parenting is and what parenting is supposed to be. And the advice I would give, I would say, is to find an adult. At a counselor at school, some adult that you trust, that you can talk to, that will maybe help mediate between you and your parent or guardian. Someone that you can be open and honest with, that can help you navigate speaking to your parents about whatever it is. That's my advice, because it's hard. Life is just hard in general. So if you can find an adult that you trust, that you can talk to and maybe ask them, can you come with me to talk to my parent and help you through that.
So I too am a mom in real life, and I would concur with what you said. I had to let go of a lot of the ways that I was raised in order to raise my children differently. But I do understand that not every parent thinks that way. And so I would definitely agree with what you said, Ebony, in terms of finding an adult that you trust that maybe can help you navigate or, I guess, broker a conversation between you and your parents. But also, I do want to say that parenting is hard. It is. And it doesn't come with any handbook. And so I would say to also remember that your parents are people. You know? It's not to say that they don't have responsibility. They are adults, you know, and they do have responsibility in terms of the way that they handle you. But also, I think you also have to approach things from a certain position in your own self. So if you do not want contention, you know what I mean, then don't maybe start a conversation that way. Maybe try coming to your parents or to the adults, the caretakers that are raising you, and asking them maybe just to have a really honest conversation. I think sometimes we wait to say things in general, young people, older people, when tensions are high. You know, when it's not maybe the most opportune time to have a really challenging conversation. But I think that if your approach in, you know, because the only person or the only people that we can control is ourselves, you know? So I definitely agree with what Eb said, but I also feel like you also have to have the right mind and spirit when you're approaching that conversation and understanding that your parents are just people too. And we're all the sum total of all of our experiences. And so your parents grew up in a different world. They grew up in a different time. And I can say for myself, a lot of times, my first reaction with my daughter, she's gonna be 13, is fear. Because the world is so different. And also being a person of color and having experienced different things as a person of color, you want to try to save your kids from having to go through some of the things that you went through, and it may not always be the best way to go about it, but most of the time I can say for myself, that's where my heart is first. Sometimes I have to revisit the way that I'm doing something, you know, but my heart is always, I want the absolute best for my kids. And I think even in the show, it's not that Rabbi didn't want the best for her children, it's also the environment that, you know, Rabbi was in. You know, Rabbi, we've said it's a culture, you know, and so when you think about that, you know, in terms of the culture that she's in and what is deemed acceptable in that culture, you know, then she's kind of adhering to that in the way that she's rearing her children, which may not be right, you know, but just understanding that everybody generally is doing the best they can with what they got, you know? And so if you approach things that way and have a genuine heart and ask and give that, then my prayer is, and usually what happens is you'll receive that back in return.
Two more questions.
Hey, I'm just add one quick thing to this. I'm not a parent. I got 2 dogs, but I'm not a parent. But as someone who had to come out to a very, very homophobic African father, I didn't have the courage to say the words directly. So what I felt led to do was to write my father a letter.
I did that too with my dad.
Yeah, come on. It's very, very liberating, and it's very, very safe on both ends. Even if, like for me, I wrote the letter and I called my dad. And I said, Dad, I just need you to listen. I need to read something to you. And if you can just give me till when I'm finished, I will hear what you have to say, but I just need you to listen. And it was something about already having the words down, already like revising and finding out the way I wanted to say that, you know, I was gay, that allowed me to be free and open and vulnerable in a way that he was able to receive it in a way that blew my expectations. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what it is, whether, you know, your sexual identity, your career, who you want to be friends with, whatever, you know what I mean? If you need to write a letter, if you need to get someone to help you, to mediate, do it. You know what I mean? Because we all deserve to be able to be happy, have love, light, joy, and peace. You know what I mean? Y'all are growing into the best versions of yourself daily. We all are. You know what I mean? So don't allow fear, don't allow overthinking to keep you back when you know that there's so much ahead for yourselves, okay? All right.
One more question.
Hi, my name is Randor, and I just wanted to know, is that food real?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, not all of it.
Yes, and it's really good too. Shout out to Corey.
He would know. Great. All right. Can we add one more? 2 more? Great. Yes, let's right here. Perfect.
Really?
Please. Really quickly, Rodney.
Bruh.
Come on.
I'm Phoebe. I'm from the Rivers School, and Hamlet is a show that's like known for being a tragedy. It's known for being like the tragedy, and so the whole time I was watching, I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, are they all gonna die? And I was so glad that they didn't. And I just wanted to know what it was like taking a show that's like originally so bleak and so miserable, and infusing it with so much joy and love.
Oh, okay, so they both change. I mean, the thing is, James Ijames has really written a masterwork in this play. He kind of, you know, we give you the spark notes of all 5 notes in 90 minutes, and we give you the best of what you need. You know what I mean? I think at this point, people don't want to leave the theater feeling sad. Y'all see the outside world? She's scary. I don't need that leaving the theater. You know what I mean? So like, and also, what we do in this play when y'all laugh, the same place where you laugh, that's the exact same posture you take when you cry. So we're able to speak directly into that place in you physically. So in what we're doing in these words, we're sort of able to really inspire divinity in a really beautiful way by speaking directly to people's hearts and directly to people's souls through the comedy. And you still get the tragedy of it all. But, you know, in this, you know, beautiful work that is service, that is collaboration, that is theater, we're able to really touch people, and I think comedy is the most effective way to do that, truthfully. Not everyone has parents, but everyone has laughed. Not everyone has been in love, but everyone has laughed, you know? So yeah.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Get you a friend like that.
Can we get another round of applause for the amazing actors and Dawn Simmons, please? Thank you all so much for joining. I believe you all heard about the dramatic returns. It gets you an opportunity to come back to see shows in the Hunt. Please come back. We'd love to see you come back and see this show. Bring your friends, bring your family. They will love it. We know you loved it. So please. Yes, and you deserve to come see it for free. You do. Yeah. We'll see you all again soon. Thank you for coming. Enjoy the rest of your day.